Welcome back, coin collectors, history buffs, and treasure hunters. In this video, we're going deep into the world of numismatics to explore the legendary 1982 Liberty 1-cent coin of the United States. Stay with us, because by the end of this video, you might start looking at your pocket change a little differently. The Liberty 1-cent coin, better known to many as the Lincoln cent, has been a foundational part of American currency since 1909. But the year 1982, that year was different. It marked a major turning point in American coinage. Why? Because 1982 was the year the United States Mint made one of the most significant composition changes in penny history. Before 1982, pennies were made primarily of 95% copper and 5% zinc. But due to the rising cost of copper in the late 1970s and early 1980s, producing a 1-cent coin actually cost more than 1 cent. Imagine that. Printing money that loses money. The US government had to act fast. So, in 1982, they began producing pennies using a new composition. 97.5% zinc with a thin outer layer of copper, making it far cheaper to produce. This major change, however, led to something fascinating. There were actually 7 different variations of the 1982 penny. Yes, 7. These include both large and small date versions, and each came in either the old copper alloy or the new zinc composition. That means if you're holding a 1982 penny, it could be one of several very unique types, some of which are incredibly rare. Part 2: The hidden rarity in circulation. Let's talk about value. In circulation, the vast majority of 1982 pennies are still worth, you guessed it, just 1 cent. After all, billions were minted across the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints. But here's the twist: not all 1982 pennies are equal. Some copper versions weigh about 3.11 grams, while zinc versions weigh just 2.5 grams. It's this weight difference that helps collectors identify which kind of 1982 penny they have. Most 1982 pennies found in everyday change are the common zinc type. But if you happen to find a small date copper version, well, you might be holding on to something far more valuable than you realize. One of the most talked about versions is the 1982D small date copper penny. This variety wasn't even supposed to exist, and yet, a few were mysteriously minted. So rare are these coins that only a handful are known to exist today. One such coin was verified and authenticated by a third-party grading service, sending shockwaves through the collector community. Part 3: From 1 cent to $1 million. And now, the million-dollar question, literally. What's the true market value of the 1982 Liberty 1-cent coin? Well, under normal circumstances, a circulated 1982 penny might only fetch a few cents to a few dollars, if it's in pristine condition or a collectible variety. But for those ultra-rare versions, like the 1982D small date copper penny, the value skyrockets. How high? Try this: $1 million. Yes, you heard that right. There are collectors and dealers who believe that due to its extreme rarity and historical significance, a verified specimen of the rarest 1982 penny could be worth up to $1 million in today's market. Think about that. A coin that costs 1 cent to make. A coin that you might overlook in your pocket or your piggy bank. And yet, in the hands of the right buyer, this unassuming penny could fetch a fortune. Coin shows, online auctions, private sales, wherever serious collectors gather, the 1982 Liberty 1-cent coin, especially its rare copper small date variation, is a star. It's whispered about in collector circles like buried treasure. And just like treasure, it's out there. Somewhere. Part 4: How to check if you have the $1 million penny. Now you're probably asking, do I have this coin? Well, here's how you check. Look at the date. Is it 1982? Great. look, or a small date. The number 2 in 1982 should curve subtly and sit higher than the 8. Weigh it carefully. A genuine copper penny weighs about 3.11 grams. You'll need a precise digital scale. Check for the D mint mark, found just below the year. If it's there, and the weight is right, you're onto something big. Get it authenticated. Contact a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC to confirm the composition and date variety. Even if you don't have the $1 million coin, some 1982 varieties still sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars in mint condition. It's always worth checking your stash. Final thoughts. Is the 1982 Liberty 1 cent a modern treasure? The story of the 1982 Liberty 1 cent coin is a story of change literally and historically. It represents a turning point in America's economic journey, a moment where practicality met tradition. But more than that, it proves one thing: sometimes the most valuable things in life are hiding in plain sight. So the next time you receive change at the grocery store or dig through your old coin jar, take a second look. Because you never know, your next penny might just be worth $1 million. What rare coins do you have in your collection? Where we dive deep into the fascinating world of coins and currency. If you're passionate about coin collecting or just love discovering hidden treasures in your pocket change, then you're in the right place. Today, we're talking about a coin that may look ordinary but can be worth a fortune: the 1983 Liberty 1 cent coin. Yes, that little penny could be your ticket to big money, so make sure to watch this video till the end because we're going to reveal everything from its history, the massive numbers minted, rare errors, and the huge value it can hold today in the collector's market. Let's begin. The 1983 Liberty 1 cent coin, also known as the Lincoln cent, carries a lot more significance than most people realize. Designed by Victor David Brenner, this coin features the iconic portrait of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse side, a design that has been used since 1909. But here's where it gets interesting: 1983 was a major turning point in the U.S. penny's history. Just 1 year earlier, in 1982, the composition of the cent changed dramatically. Until mid-1982, pennies were made mostly of copper. But due to rising copper prices, the U.S. Mint decided to switch to a cheaper material. So, by 1983, all Lincoln cents were being struck using a zinc core with a thin copper plating, making them lighter and more affordable to produce. This composition shift marked a new era for the humble penny. That makes 1983 the first full year that all circulating 1 cent coins were made entirely from copper-plated zinc, and this fact makes it an important year for collectors. In 1983, the U.S. Mint struck Lincoln cents at 2 main locations: Philadelphia Mint. These coins carry no mint mark and over 7.75 billion of them were produced. Denver Mint. These coins carry a small D mint mark under the date, and a whopping 6.47 billion were minted. That's more than 14 billion coins in total. So you might be thinking, how can something so common be worth anything? Well, hold on, because the value of the 1983 penny comes from something far more exciting: rare errors and variations. Here's the golden ticket. Even though all 1983 pennies were supposed to be made of zinc, a few were accidentally struck on old copper planchets. Yes, you heard that right. That means some 1983 Lincoln cents were made using the wrong metal, copper, instead of zinc. These rare errors are known as 1983 copper pennies, and they are extremely valuable. Collectors go wild for these mistakes because they're not supposed to exist. And when something that rare turns up in circulation, it becomes a holy grail for coin hunters. To find out if you have one of these, simply weigh your penny. A regular 1983 zinc penny should weigh about 2.5 grams. A rare 1983 copper penny will weigh about 3.1 grams if you have one that weighs 3.1 grams. Get it professionally authenticated immediately. You might be holding a coin worth thousands of dollars. The 1983 Lincoln cent also includes some rare and valuable error coins. 1983 double die. Reverse. This is one of the most famous and collectible errors for this year. You can spot this error by looking closely at the back of the coin. You'll see clear doubling on the words 1 cent and e pluribus unum. These coins in excellent condition can sell for $200 to over $1,000, depending on their grade. Off-center strikes, die cracks, and bubbles. Some 1983 pennies were misstruck, causing parts of the design to be off-center or show cracks. Others might show gas bubbles under the copper plating, a side effect of the new zinc material. These types of errors can fetch anywhere from $50 to several $100s, depending on severity and condition. Now let's talk about what you really want to know: how much is a 1983 penny worth today? Here's a breakdown. Circulated normal 1983 penny 1 cent, or face value. Uncirculated mint state coins, MS-60 to MS-65, between 10 cents and $5 depending on luster and preservation. 1983 double die reverse. Between $150 and $1,200 depending on grade. 1983 copper penny error. These have sold at auction for over $15,000, and in one famous case, a 1983 copper cent graded MS-62 brown by NGC sold for nearly $23,500. Yes, that's correct. A single penny that should not exist ended up being worth more than $20,000. So it's time to start checking your change, your piggy bank, or that old jar of coins in the attic. You never know what treasure you might be sitting on. To wrap it all up, the 1983 Liberty 1 cent may seem common, but it holds incredible value for those who know what to look for. Whether it's a rare copper error or a double die variety, these coins have the potential to be worth hundreds, even thousands of dollars. So don't underestimate the power of a penny. It could change your life. If you found this video helpful or interesting, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more videos just like this. We post regular content on rare coins, currency tips, and how to spot hidden value in everyday pocket change. Also, comment below if you have any interesting finds. Who knows, your coin might be featured in our next video. Thanks for watching, and as always, happy coin hunting! For rare coins, hidden treasures, and fascinating stories from the world of currency. If you're holding on to some old pennies thinking they're worthless, well, think again. Because today, we're diving deep into the world of one of the most astonishing and sought-after coins in recent history, the Liberty 1 cent 2010 United States coin, a humble penny with a jaw-dropping current market value of $4.8 million. Yes, you heard that right, a single cent, now worth millions. The story of the Liberty 1 cent 2010 coin begins in the United States Mint facility in Denver, Colorado, designated by the D Mint mark. In the year 2010, the U.S. Mint continued its long-standing tradition of producing billions of pennies for everyday use. But among those billions, a small batch of coins stood out. These weren't your average, mass-produced Lincoln cents. Oh no. These were extraordinary, rare, special, and incredibly valuable. Denver Mint production in 2010, dramatic filter overlay. The 2010 penny belongs to the Lincoln Shield cent series, which replaced the bicentennial reverse design in 2010. The obverse still features Abraham Lincoln's dignified profile, designed by Victor David Brenner back in 1909. But the reverse, that's where it changed. The new Shield reverse, designed by Lindo Bass and engraved by Joseph Mena, symbolized Lincoln's preservation of the United States as a single and united country. But in the midst of the standard coins, a few were struck with anomalies. Minting errors, slight off-centering, double dies, and in one extraordinary case a specimen so perfect in condition and so rare in mintage characteristics that it stunned experts. That, dear viewers, is our $4.8 million coin. The penny, though often overlooked, is one of the most historic coins in American history. The U.S. 1-cent coin was first introduced in 1793. Over the centuries, it has featured various designs, with Lincoln's image becoming a permanent fixture starting in 1909 to celebrate the 100th anniversary of his birth. But the 2010 D marks a special turning point. It was the first full year of the new shield design, a design symbolizing the strength and unity of the United States after a long journey from revolution to modern democracy. It was an era of hope, coming out of the recession of 2008, and the design reflected a commitment to enduring values. The shield was a return to classic American imagery, reminiscent of the Civil War era and the foundations of the Republic. And tucked away in all that symbolism was 1 cent. One humble copper-plated zinc coin. But this particular 2010 D wasn't like the rest. Ultra zoom on coin's surface under microscope, highlighting mint errors or pristine strike. So what makes the 2010 D Liberty 1 cent coin worth $4.80 million? First, rarity. Most 2010 D pennies were minted by the hundreds of millions. But only a handful were discovered with unusual characteristics like extreme die polish marks, doubled dies, or rare off-metal strikes. Some of these errors slipped through the strict quality control processes of the mint. And one specific coin, a pristine, MS-70 graded 2010 D with a doubled die reverse and an off-metal strike, took the world by storm when it surfaced at a high-profile auction. Second, condition. The coin in question was certified by PCGS as Mint State 70, a flawless coin. That is nearly unheard of in circulation. Combine a perfect grade with a unique error, and you've got a jackpot. Third, provenance. This coin was once part of a high-profile collection owned by a well-known numismatist who uncovered it in a sealed mint bag, untouched since 2010. Its origin story only adds to the mythos. Now let's talk numbers. In normal circulation, the 2010 D penny is worth exactly what you think, 1 cent. It's made from 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper plating, and billions of them are still in wallets, drawers, and jars across America. If you're lucky, a circulated 2010 D in good condition might be worth 1 to 3 cents to a coin roll hunter. In the world of coin collecting, it's not just about the face value. It's about condition. It's about rarity. It's about story. And with those three combined, this particular Liberty 1 cent 2010 D coin was valued and sold at an earth-shattering price of $4.8 million. Yes, from pocket change to life-changing. Gavel drops, crowd gasps. MS-70 condition, numismatic perfection, rare mint error, a double die and off-metal strike comb, historic design, first full year of the shield, reverse collector demand, extremely limited examples, auction record, only known specimen to hit that value. In the world of coin collecting, these rare perfect storm coins become legendary. And as more collectors enter the market, the demand for such rarities pushes values even higher. That's how a single cent transforms into a multi-million-dollar piece of American history. Here's the the $4.8 million question. Could you be holding one of these ultra-rare 2010 D Liberty 1 cent coins? A clear D mint mark below the date, pristine or uncirculated condition, preferably untouched, signs of a doubled die or odd coloration, heavy, unusual weight could indicate an off-metal strike, professional grading, MS-67 or above is good, but MS-70 is what broke the bank. If you think you've got a candidate, don't clean it. Don't toss it. Don't even blink. Get it appraised by a trusted grading service like PCGS or NGC. So there you have it, coin lovers. The 2010 D Liberty 1 cent coin, a piece of history, a numismatic marvel, and possibly the most surprising millionaire coin in modern times. A symbol of American resilience, now a symbol of unimaginable value. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button, subscribe for more amazing coin stories, and hit that notification bell so you never miss another hidden treasure.